Good afternoon, dear students of the group 19. I am very glad to see you now today's new lesson. Сәлеметсіздер ме, құрметті аятай отыз оқытудың студенттері, сіздерді бүгінгі жаңа сабақта көргеніме қуаныштымын. Our today's new lesson will be conducted to the themes Sightseeing in London, Transport in Britain, Education in England. Бүгінгі жаңа сабағымыз үш бағытта болады. Лондон көлік жерлері, Британиядағы транспорт яғни көлік жүйесі және Англия яғни Ұлыбританиядағы білім жүйесі негізінде. Let's begin our lesson. The sights of London. Лондонның көрікті жерлері. Let's start our trip on a double-decker bus. The contents. London comprises many beautiful places of interest. They are as follows: the Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, Trafalgar Square, Westminster Abbey, Tower Bridge, St. Paul's Cathedral, Buckingham Palace. The new words. The students will get acquainted with the new words: Westminster Abbey, Houses of Parliament, Buckingham Palace, St. Paul's Cathedral, the Tower of London, double-decker bus. The students should read and translate the new words, and then they have to learn by heart. The next task will be conducted to the working with the map. The students should understand and should guess what kind of continent is shown on the map. It's of course, without saying, will be Great Britain. And the red sign shows that London is the capital, British capital, and one of the biggest cities in the world. It consists of three parts: the West End, the City of London, and the East End. London is the capital of the UK. It's a beautiful city. London is a city of history and the museums. The Houses of Parliament. The House of Parliament is situated on the River Thames, and there was a palace there. Now it is the home of the British Parliament. Big Ben. Big Ben is also a famous British clock, and it is a very big clock, and you can hear the sound of Big Ben every hour in London. Trafalgar Square. Trafalgar Square, all tourists meet here, and there is a beautiful monument to Admiral Nelson, and there are two fountains in the square. There is a beautiful monument to Admiral Nelson between two fountains. Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey is the political center of London. Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is a bridge over the River Thames. It's a symbol of London. London's places of interest. The first, Tower Bridge, Big Ben, which is a symbol of the UK, the House of Parliament, building in London. Trafalgar Square is the most beautiful place of London. The National Gallery. Now it's a museum. The British Museum is one of the largest museums in the world. A photo of Red London telephone booth. Double-decker bus. 10 Downing Street. Buckingham Palace, which is the official London home of the Queen, and the Whitehall. The next task, having finished working with the pictures, the students will focus their attention on the text about London. The students should read and translate and understand the whole meaning of the text. Having finished reading the text, the students will go and continue doing exercises concerning to the text. True or false exercise, completing exercise, matching exercise, and the last one is test. The next, our theme will be conducted to the transport of Great Britain. Now, who can guess where is our country, United Kingdom or Great Britain, in the map? Can you find? Yes, exactly. Here is it. The UK or Great Britain. So in map you can see the names of cities which is the country comprises. Airports. One can reach England either by plane, by train, by car or by ship. The fastest way is by plane. London has 3 international airports. Heathrow, the largest, connected to the city by underground. Gatwick, south of London, with a frequent train service. Luton, the smallest, used for charter flights. Across the Channel. If you go to England by train or by car, you have to cross the Channel. There is a frequent service of steamers and the ferry boats which connect the continent to the southeast of England. Let's take a ferry. It's a photo of ferry submarine. Looking closer to London, the capital of England is famous for its red buses called double-decker. Rules for drivers. People in Britain drive on the left and generally overtake on the right. The speed limit is 30 miles per hour, 50 km/h in towns and cities, and 70 mph, 110 km/h on motorways. London's Underground. The world's first underground line was opened between Baker Street and the City in 1863. Now there are 10 underground lines and 273 underground stations in use. The London Underground is also called the Tube because of the circular shape of its deep tunnel. Now our next attention will be conducted to the education in Britain. Vocabulary. The students should look at the vocabulary and then learn them by heart. Education brings a child the world. Primary education. All children start primary school by the age of 5. Primary education lasts for 6 years. It's interesting. The most famous public schools in Britain are Eton, Harrow, Winchester. Vocabulary concerning to the secondary education. After 6 years of primary education, children take exams in core subjects and go to secondary schools. School uniform. A lot of people think that school uniforms in England are for the children from rich families at the country's best schools. It's interesting. School tie. There is a good proverb about it. To be true to your school tie. Быть верным своему школьному галстуку. Что означает, что и через много лет выпускники сохраняют верность своим школьным друзьям и всегда готовы помочь им. Secondary education. After 5 years of secondary education, people take GSCE, General Certificate of Secondary Education. Higher education begins at the age of 18 and usually lasts 3 or 4 years. Students go to universities, polytechnics or colleges or higher education. There are now about 80 universities in Great Britain. Next, I will give you home tasks. Your home tasks will be to learn by heart new words, to compose a dialogue on the same means of transport, dialogue құрау, and to compare the education systems in Kazakhstan and in Great Britain. Ұлыбритания мен Қазақстанның білім жүйесін салыстырып мәтінін жазып келу.